Welcome back to Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Join us as we venture year-round into the fog.
Make sure you give us a like and a follow on your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page where we upload every episode in its video format, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Make sure you're following us on social media to keep up to date with our newest haunted content.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Jamie. Welcome back, everyone. Might sound a little bit of a different introduction here. It's not your typical Nick. I have a very special episode coming for you guys. 2 days out from HHN. Today also happens to be our Family Feud event at Topgolf with For the Love of Theme Parks. Ryan and Nick will be hosting this. Podcasters versus YouTubers. It's going to be a really great event if you guys could come out. Doors open at 5:30 and the show starts at 7. This is a free event to get into, but if you would like, we will have donations open and available that will be donated to the Special Olympics. A couple other things coming up. We do have our See You in the Fog 2026 beer release day that Nick has been doing some work over with at the brewery. That'll be in Ocoee, Florida, Saturday, September 5th. It's also going to have the Spooky Flight Day, Spooky Season Fright Flight, Saturday, September 12th. You could get a flight of 4 candy-treated Toll Road beers paired with the candy they're treated with. And just a reminder, because I already forgot to say it, this is at Toll Road Brewing over in Ocoee. So our beer release is going to be on Saturday, September 5th. And the Spooky Flight Day for Spooky Season Fright Flight starts Saturday, September 12th. Every flight will get you a raffle ticket for a $150 Universal Orlando gift card. And See You in the Fog, our beer, will be one of the 4 beers on there. And that comes out on, it actually is releasing today, on August 26th, this Wednesday. And this will be through the 2nd, or 2 days until HHN. If you are watching on YouTube, I do have some very special guests with me. Today, we're going to be talking pretty much just everything Halloween, chit-chatting with my friends, and talking about HHN35. I hosted one of these episodes last year, and I was telling these lovely ladies that I was a little nervous last year as well, starting this and hosting this, but everyone showed me a lot of love on it, and I really appreciate all of you guys being here, and for those of you listening, I appreciate you guys being here too. So, enough of me talking. We are going to get started with some of our awesome guests that we have on here. Jamie, if you want to get started.
So, my name's Jamie also, and I run a Halloween and horror account on Instagram and TikTok called Jamie Does Halloween. Covers all things Halloween horror, vintage Halloween, theme park Halloween events, local Halloween events, and everything in between. So I just love talking all things Halloween and horror and theme parks. So I'm very lucky to be on the pod talking about one of my favorite Halloween events.
Yay! Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And this is our first time, I was saying before too, virtually meeting officially. So this is really fun for me too, and hopefully for you guys as well. And next we have the lovely Miss Jessalyn.
Hey everybody, my name is Jessalyn. I make spooky jewelry and accessories all year long for my brand Broken Jaw Jewelry, and I'm also an avid horror fan, so I naturally love Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm really excited to chat today with everybody.
Yay! You know her, you love her. Give it up for our haunt girl, Miss Nikki.
Hi everyone. I'm Nikki. I run Haunt Girls, podcast, YouTube, everything Halloween Horror Nights, horror, haunts, everything in between there. I just got back from Midsummer Scream over in California. And I plan on doing a lot more things coming up soon. But it keeps very busy on that page at Haunt Girls Pod.
Yeah. Next up, we have Bree.
Hey guys, it's Bree. We are Bree and Nick Yarbs on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Not doing a whole lot of YouTube these days, but you can find us on the other two. We're pretty active. Formerly the theme team, just trying to, expand our reach here a little bit. Love theme parks, love Halloween Horror Nights, love Halloween. was not the biggest horror fan until honestly I started coming to Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah, but trying to get more into the horror. I am more into the horror now, actually. I should say trying. I'm very excited for Halloween Horror Nights this year and to be chatting with all of these wonderful ladies.
Yay. As am I. And last but not least, we have the lovely Miss Pizza Queen Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. As you already said, you can find me at Pizza Queen Sam on Instagram and TikTok. I always say I'm like a lifestyle and fashion creator, but I just kind of do whatever. I've been a horror fan since I was literally a kid. It's my entire life. I love it so much. I love Halloween Horror Nights so much that I have a Halloween Horror Nights tattoo. So fun fact.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for introducing. So I know I mentioned I wanted us to kind of talk about like just kind of a little icebreaker, I guess, but any Halloween traditions that you guys enjoy doing or have always done growing up. For me, for example, I'm an only child, so I have a very good relationship with my parents, but I tend to get very upset if my parents don't invite me over to help put their Halloween decorations up. Same goes for Christmas. It's always really fun and special for us. And I guess pretty basic, but I always really enjoy watching Trick or Treat and or Halloween on Halloween night. I feel like those are just such essential spooky time movies, and it just really gets me into the season. And sometimes I have to hold off on watching those until then to really get the full vibe. But however, if someone wants to unmute, you guys, the floor is yours for whoever wants to get started. We could go in the same order if you want. So Jamie, if you want to go first.
Tradition, I guess a newer tradition that I have is there's two moms that have a Facebook group that collected throughout the years the best houses they've visited around my town that have like over the top decorations, just displays, people that let you weave through their basement with an indoor haunted house throughout the year. So like we go on there and we'll pick like a Friday night in October and just do whatever we want to do. So we'll go see like the decorations in our area and it's so much fun. We'll bring drinks, we'll bring food, and we just go around and see all the decorations. So it's so much fun.
I absolutely love that. I wish there was more opportunities, I guess, for Orlando to do big spooky light up attractions, but at least not on this side of town in the more touristy area. But Jessalyn, what about you?
So ever since my fiance and I have been together, every Halloween we stay home and we give out candy to the local trick-or-treaters. I'm wearing my like 90s Halloween mom crew neck sweatshirt.
I love it.
And then after that we'll like get dressed up and go out somewhere and have some drinks and snacks and whatever. So that's been fun the last few years.
Awesome. I absolutely love that. Nikki, what about you?
There we go. So same as Jocelyn, ever since I got with my fiance, we've always spent Halloween at HHN. So this will be our 5th year in the fall together. And he actually proposed to me the day after Halloween last year. So I think it's kind of turning into our thing that we have to be at HHN for Halloween. It's just kind of been our date night Halloween adventure. And then of course we always, once we get back to the hotel, usually because it is closing weekend, we watch a scary movie to go to sleep. That's a comfort, right? A scary movie to go to sleep is comforting.
I do it all the time.
Exactly. But before that, I think I trick-or-treated for a little bit longer than I should have. Not that there was an age limit to trick-or-treating. But my parents were really, really cool and would always take me trick-or-treating for Halloween. I think I did it well into my teens, and some neighbors were like, and I'm like, give me the candy. But yeah.
I was just going to say, I was definitely one of the kids who didn't want to let go of growing up and not trick-or-treating, and I'd get very upset. I'd be like, my parents were like, you still want to dress up this year? And I'm like, yeah, I do. What do you mean do I not want to dress up this year and go out? But it's funny that you mention going to Horror Nights on Halloween, too, because here I am, literally the last probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 years, Nick and I have actually gone to Horror Nights for not closing night, on Halloween night, mostly. And the last, not in the recent 2 years, but we have gone a couple times before. Fun fact, Nikki, I know you're a big fan too. I had never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show until Nick and I started dating. He's a very big Rocky Horror Picture Show fan. And we've actually gone to see the live show that they do on Halloween sometimes down at the plaza that they put on. So that was really, really fun. And we've made some nice memories there too. Bree, what about you? Halloween traditions? You and your lovely
Hey.
family. Hello.
So honestly, my birthday is like 10 days before Halloween. So when I was a kid, we'd always have, if I had a birthday party, it would be Halloween themed. And this is like the golden years of my childhood, is that my mom would like put up these big black trash bags all the way around we had like a carport, and like make like a haunted house, and we would have a sick birthday party. I think I did like 3 years in a row, and I'm like constantly trying to relive that. Like now that I'm 31, I'm going to do a Halloween party this year. 100%. I've decided. But our Halloween tradition is obviously to go trick-or-treating. For the season in general, we try to go to like St. Augustine or Savannah. We've gone to New Orleans. We just like to get into like the spooky vibes without like necessarily being like at horror nights.
Right.
Because our kids don't know why we're in St. Augustine. They don't know that it's probably like lurking with spirits.
Yes.
So it's a
They're
little
like,
bit
man,
more,
this place is pretty cool.
yeah, it's a little more family friendly. And then we have a really cool neighborhood for trick-or-treating. It's not like, it's so weird because it's not like the biggest, nicest, newest neighborhood. It's a newer neighborhood, but it's been like the place to go for the last like 10 years. And we moved here like 6 years ago. And so 6 years now, I guess. This will be our 6th year trick-or-treating in our neighborhood and trying to pass out candy at the same time.
That's kind of the tough thing too, because I feel like trick-or-treating really isn't as big, I guess, anymore. I mean, every time I ask my parents, they're like, yeah, we really didn't get too many trick-or-treaters this year, and all that kind of stuff. And it really makes me sad because I feel like that was just something like so pivotal that I would look forward to for the night. And I love that you guys have a nice neighborhood that still does a lot of it and gets really into it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was when we bought this. Well, yeah, when we bought this house, we were like, yeah, that's the one. Because of Halloween, it was so cool. We even came before, like, we moved in. We had to try it out. But yeah, it's really fun. I love it. It's keeping my spirit alive.
And my parents have lived in the same house my whole life. And you probably think I'm literally just taking all these ideas for you. They're like, damn, this girl's got a lot of Halloween traditions. But growing up, my dad would like to go all out to kind of their like front porch walkway. He would kind of do like the black trash bags and kind of make it like a haunted walkway, I guess.
Yeah.
And we had a bunch of old spirit decor and animatronics and stuff like that. So he still tries to go all out occasionally and not do as much. But I told him, I'm like, you really need to start getting back into that. And he's like, yeah, you're going to come help me set it up. And I'm like, you got me there. But might try and convince him to do a little something this year. It'll keep him busy. And
my goal this year is to just like really go all out because our kids are finally old enough that I can put some effort into it and it'd be worth it. So yes, I'm trying to recreate your childhood, Jamie. Exactly.
I love it. I live, as most of you know me, I live for the nostalgia. So that's awesome. I love it. Sam, what about you? Some Halloween traditions?
So my tradition, much to my husband's dismay, is making a really crazy Halloween costume every year. Yes. I've been doing it since I was like in college, and it just gets like bigger and crazier every year. So my tradition is like building this crazy costume, going out somewhere, no matter where it is, and just being like, here I am. I'm in this crazy costume.
And I made it.
And I made it. Yeah. It just is. It's always fun to like put some work into something and then get to show it off. And it also kind of plays into like old Halloween tradition was always like making your costume and like getting excited about being whatever you wanted to be. So I think that that's really where that like stems down from.
I wish I had the ability to be good at sewing or any sort of stuff like that. It's quite unfortunate that I don't, but my mom's pretty decent at it, so she's made a few things over the years. But one of my good friends growing up, her mom used to always make her Halloween costumes and would make very, very fun ones. And Sam, I can confirm your costumes are absolutely phenomenal. You're absolutely, your creature that you did, stunning.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but at Scared Ice, I won 2nd place in craftsmanship there last year.
I am not surprised one bit. That's absolutely
I was surprised
amazing.
Because I was like, what is going on?
You were like, little old me.
I was like, I just made a Halloween costume. Look at guys.
Yeah. No, they came out really good. And then you did the sandworm, another one of my favorites. That was a great one as well.
So that's the tradition.
Yes, I absolutely love it. That's awesome. Okay, that was a fun way to kind of get going. Now, if we kind of want to dive in, I know we kind of talked a little bit about ourselves, but what really got you guys into HHN? What was the first year you went? And I'm the type of person, even though I had gone when I was younger, I unfortunately was a big scaredy cat and did not really take advantage of the houses when I had the opportunity because I was a scared kid. So for me, I feel like it doesn't even matter if you started going to the event sooner or earlier or later on into the event years. We all love the event for what it is, and that makes it special. So, Jamie, if you want to tell us a little bit about your Horror Nights experience.
Yeah, so I first got into Halloween Horror Nights. As being an out-of-stater, I always was someone that, even when I was younger, like middle school, high school, would have like another tab up on my computer while I was doing homework, and I would click off and watch like the POVs of the houses and everything. So I grew up always watching the POVs all the time, walkthroughs of the houses, walkthroughs of the event, everything you needed to know. And then I finally went to 28 and was like, this is even
Great
better
year.
than the POVs. I was like completely like mind blown. And like normally I don't get scared by anything. I mean, some stuff scares me, like total pitch black haunts scare me, but like the conga line going through, I had never experienced that. And I remember like my first year at HHN, I think it was Nightingale's Blood Pit. I was holding on to people in front of me. Like I was like, this is crazy. The conga line freaked me out. But I grew up watching the POVs, and then finally getting to go, I was just blown away, and I've gone every year since. So, yeah.
I love it. And I feel like it always comes to like such a full circle moment like that too, because I still watch the POVs for Hollywood for the houses and everything like that, just because I don't go to the event over there. And I just love watching it. And especially like back in the day, like, I don't know if y'all were into the Travel Channel, but they used to have stuff for like the top 10 haunted attractions and like stuff like that. So I was always getting into that kind of stuff, especially when they would talk about Horror Nights, which was very fun. But Jessalyn, when did you start getting into Horror Nights?
So as like a little backstory, I grew up afraid of absolutely everything. I
I
didn't
get
really
it.
like Halloween. I would like have to sit in the nurse's office during Halloween because if anyone had the like scary masks, I
Oh
couldn't
no.
handle it. So it wasn't until I was like well into adulthood when I was like, all right, I like Halloween. I like the concept of like dressing up, and Sam, kind of like you were talking about, like putting together fun costumes. It's time to maybe like face my fears a little bit. So once I started watching horror movies, I was already familiar with Universal. My family would go like, whenever we could. We loved going on all the coasters and everything. And I had seen a Travel Channel like documentary about like the parks, and they talked about Halloween Horror Nights, and it was a lot of like Mike Aiello talking about what they do behind the event. So then I was going a few years ago, and 31 was my first year, and I feel like that was like the perfect first go for Horror Nights because I love Halloween. My birthday's in October, so I've always really loved the kind of like classic traditional Halloween vibe. And I had actually never been in a haunted house before, like at all,
That's
before
exciting.
going to Halloween Horror Nights. So my first ever haunted house was the weekend.
Nice.
And then I was like really enjoying it. Everything was so much fun. And then we went into the Dead Man's Pier house. And I remember walking in and going, holy shit, like really just gaining like a new appreciation for,
Yes.
For the event, and fell in love from there. And I've been going ever since.
And that's the thing too. I love just getting to hear like the years people started going. Cause like Jamie, you said your first year was 28, yes? And Jessalyn, you said they're like, what banger
Yeah,
years to be
31.
first years to go. Like, come on now. That's so great. But
Yeah.
especially houses like Dead Man's Pier too. And I know you can appreciate a good facade, a good set design. And it's just designs and houses like that really make you like, wow, like we do other haunts and everything and occasionally like that too. But just the scale and like the detail that they put into some of these houses and mazes are just really, really phenomenal. And I know that's what keeps us coming on back, honestly. It just looks
Absolutely.
fantastic. And the scare actors, it's a great combination. Nikki,
Yeah.
what kind of brought you into this crazy world that we live in of the HHN world?
Who knows? No, honestly, no one in my family is really into like horror or spookiness or anything like that. I had a uncle that would come visit us every now and then, and whenever he came, he would put on a scary movie. I know one of the first one was Bram Stoker's Dracula. Another one was The Fog and stuff like that. So I was being
Classics.
introduced, I was hiding behind the couch, but also like wanting to watch.
Like
And
the-
I think, Yeah, like I was probably too young to be watching these films, if I'm being totally honest. But I was still like, this is
Right.
actually quite good. Scooby-Doo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, always
Love
my
'em.
favorite animation. So my parents should have started picking up on like the patterns there.
Yes.
But in terms of HHN, I'm a theater kid. I went to a performing arts high school, and my first year was HHN 23. And I'm not sure if it was 23 or 24, but HHN actually invited out my theater department to the event and like
Fun.
hosted us and like did like and went through the whole audition process with us, because I think their process was when they get older, they can audition to these actors.
Right.
But it was either 23 or 24 they invited us. My first year was 23, so I did go 23. But with the idea of just like the artistry that goes behind it and the acting, if that makes sense. My first house ever was Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I was still a pretty big scaredy cat, and I literally saw the first scare actor down the hall, and I went goodbye, and I went hiding behind the person in front of me. And I like started getting brave and started peeking out. But yeah, I don't know where it came from. I really don't. I think my parents are also still kind of confused as to where it came from, even though the signs were all there.
Yes.
But yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing. I feel like growing up with shows like that, with like Scooby-Doo and Courage, which I'm also very big fans of the both as well. And it makes me feel a lot better that you guys said you were very, like, I don't want to say scaredy cats, but I was a scaredy cat when I was younger too. And it's just so funny that we were all scared, but also just like so intrigued. Like, I was afraid of like really weird things when I was a kid. Benny, the taxi driver from Halloween Town, I was really afraid of skeletons. And
I was scared of Shadow from The Bear in the Big Blue House. Do you guys remember that? I was scared of Shadow.
Do. Ooh, that's a good one.
Which Shadow wasn't scary, but I was like not about it. I'm like, every time she came up, I would go hiding.
Yes, also was a big Barney kid, but also found Barney kind of creepy too. I just had weird phobias as a kid, I guess. And same thing with going to the events at a young age, unfortunately. I think it was 2005 or 2006. You would see houses like Body Collectors, and when they would show, as you guys know, they show some of the Q footage outside. I was watching and I was like, there ain't no way I'm going in there. Sorry, Dad, but we gotta go home right now because I can't do this. And I just remember like me and like my neighbors who I grew up with were like crying. I was like, there's no way. And my dad was like, yeah, we're probably not going to try this again until you get older. I was like, you know what? That's fine. At least I did try. And so now it's nice to at least say I got to experience those times for what it was. But
You
yeah,
at least were there before the crowds found HHN.
I was, and it's fun. I just wish my memory was a little better, unfortunately, to remember some of those times. But Bree, what about you? What got you into this event?
Love Universal. Just was there. We were there when 31 was going on, and we almost went, but we were just too poor. Like we couldn't even, like we had to pay for sitters to go down there, and it just we were like, sorry, can't do it. So we went. I was like, we're going next year. Like I'm saving money. I'm gonna make this happen. So my first year was HHN32, the year of Oddfellow. Like, so I have a special place for Oddfellow. I'm really excited. That's my first icon. That was my first year. Really excited for this year. And then just like my love for Halloween, like I can relate with Nikki a lot. Like I loved Scooby-Doo. I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog. Anything with witches. Do you guys remember Twitches on Disney Channel? That was my jam. Yes. Yeah, Halloween, birthday, just like I love everything. I used to be more of like everyone else where I was like really scared of this event or like what was happening in this event and horror and like all of the things. But I don't know. I really like it now. I don't know. I guess Halloween Horror Nights desensitized me and I can enjoy it and I'm cool with it. I'm like, yeah, do it again. Let's do it again this year. Yeah, that's my first year. Oh, my first house. My first house was Dark as Steel with Nick, and we got out of it and we were immediately hooked. We were like, yes, again.
You're like-
Let's do that again.
I think I really like it here.
Exactly. I think I'm starting to like horror nights.
No, that's so fun though. And you just remembering your first house, what you did too. I wish I could remember mine. Honestly, it was one of them
It
from
was-
back then. But how fun! What a good house to do for your first one as
Yeah,
well.
and then Sinners this year, I feel like it's gonna feel really reminiscent, and Oddfellow. I think it's gonna feel really reminiscent of like our first year, which we have been really
Yes.
missing.
Mhm.
Not to get like too deep into the conversation, like the last 2
No, you're
years have
fine.
just not felt like the one we fell in love with, if that makes sense. It's just been the genres and everything has felt, the vibes have been so different. So
Yes.
we're really excited to get back to like hopefully what made us fall in love with it.
100%. And I'm glad to with Oddfellow, also a big fan. I'm very glad to see him and Jack finally paired up together in this big capacity in their own house together. So it'll be nice for those who, I guess we saw Jack in the Icon's house when we had him and little stuff like that. But I'm glad for people who didn't really get to see Jack back in the day, Carnival of Carnage, whatever other that kind of stuff, get to see him in all its glory. I know people have been saying they have Jack fatigue, but I will never have fatigue for that clown. You can never make me hate him. So, but that's just that. But Sam, what about you?
Never seen Jack, so sorry.
Have you? I was just going to say, so that means you've never seen. Perfect.
Nope. Just in the
Even
Oddfellow
better.
house, like his little moment. That's it.
His little
so.
cameo. Yes.
Mhm. Yep.
Sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
No, you're going to love Jack so much. So my first year was 2009, so HHN19 ripped from the silver screens. And the very first house I went into was ripped from the silver screens with the usher. And I actually got into it because I wanted to go with my friends because I was like a tween, but I was a scaredy cat. Just like I was really feeling what everybody else was saying. I was like, I was so scared to go. So my mom was like, I'll go with you. I really want to go. And my mom, like, to this day will pop into HHN every once in a while, which is really funny. But we went through and she was like, nothing is going to be scary in here. Everything is fine. And then tell me how, like, the first room, something jumped out and scared her and she jumped and I, like, went screaming and crying. And then I was at the end of the house. She was like, do you want to go to another one? I was like, no, I don't want to go to another one. But I also, like Nikki, I was a theater kid. So it became something that I started to appreciate more and more as I got older, of being like, all right, I love the set pieces. I love all the detail they put into everything. And I just really, really, really fell in love with it. And then I also, not at Universal, but I was a scare actor for like a smaller haunted house like near my house. So I really appreciate like even the work that they're putting into it as well.
That's really cool. And people have always told me, they're like, you love Horror Nights so much. Why have you never tried to like be a scare actor, work for the event? And I'm like, as much as I love it, I don't know how scary I could actually be. I feel like that makes me nervous, I feel like I do my job okay. And to be honest, I like going to the event too much to be wanting to work it. So
it feels like it's like a totally different thing on the other side, but I enjoyed like everybody's reaction so much. Like that was my favorite thing, was to say, and then someone was like, oh my God. And I was like, I did that.
I feel like it'd be a very rewarding role, though, when you do scare someone, for sure. Oh, that's fun. I didn't know you did that, Sam. See, that's really cool. This is why I like doing this. Okay, our started off first, and then we could go with Jamie, but a white whale house you don't think will ever come to the event that you would love to see at the event. Personally, I have a few, but they're kind of really, really unrealistic, so I'm going to say one that I've been saying for a little bit, and that would be for us to get a Lost Boys house. Oh, Sam, did you? Go ahead.
I literally had that on my list because I was like, you know what just got a musical? The Lost Boys. You know what would make a great house? Imagine like going into the lair with all the stuff hanging in there. It would be fantastic.
A girl
we could have
dream.
scare actors hanging from the bridge.
There's so many opportunities. Someone like on a wire. Like, let's get it done.
100%. And I feel like they could make it work. They did like the boardwalk scene when they had the Us house, how they kind of made that entrance in the mirror maze room or whatever. So definitely would mine be the Lost Boys. Sam, I'm glad you agree. That makes me very happy. And I just think it would work so well as a house, honestly. Jamie, what about you?
So I have a couple as well, but I always was at bat for, especially since they work with Netflix a lot, the Fear Street movies, like the trilogy of movies.
Yes.
Pre the prom one, wasn't a huge fan of the prom one, but when it was the three that came out back to back to back, would have loved to have seen them. And then always went to bat for As Above, So Below. That would have been gorgeous. And
I love
like
that movie.
all the random creatures that they have that are like in the stone, like her with the blood, like when she falls in the blood, all the crazy stuff that happens. And then I always wanted to see House of Wax as
Ooh.
a house as well.
That would be really, really neat too. And I will say, As Above, So Below has to be one of my, if not my top found footage movies. Absolutely
Me
adore that
too.
movie. Think it would make a stunning and very scary house too, because I always say that like that movie scares me. Like I feel like we all could say like, oh, a movie's scary for what it is, but that has always given me the creeps. What a weird one. But those are really good picks too. Jessalyn, what about you?
On the topic of found footage, I
Ooh.
think a house based on The Descent would be terrifying because like having like the kind of claustrophobic spaces, and I think those creatures like being on the ceiling and above you would be terrifying.
Creepy. Mhm.
And I've also always wanted, and I know this has like kind of been at the event, but not really, Jurassic Park. I just feel like having a house based on that would be so much fun. And I know they like got around it with Islands of Fear,
Mhm.
but I just think that would be so cool to be able to experience in an actual Halloween Horror Nights house.
Yes, I have a friend who's absolutely obsessed with Jurassic Park, and I know she would very much appreciate that being his house. And she's
Oh,
mentioned
yeah.
it to me before. She's like, man, wouldn't Jurassic Park make a cool house? And I'm like, you know what? They've never really done like dinos that I think about it.
No.
Honestly, not that I could think of off the top of my head. So that would be pretty neat.
No.
I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Nikki, what about you? What are you thinking?
Oh my goodness. There's a few, but I know there is one that I'm just constantly like bring it to the event. And that is literally any horror musical. Bring it to the event into a house. They used to have Rocky Horror, like a tribute to Rocky Horror at the.
I wish I would have seen it.
Oh my God, that was my favorite part of the event, Jamie.
I know, Nikki. I'm not a shows make me antsy. It's
Oh
hard
my
for me to
goodness.
sit for long periods of time
I just think
sometime.
it could be so cool. It doesn't have to be Rocky. Like it could literally be Lost Boys. Lost Boys are a musical, like Sam just said. Right now, they're running on Broadway. It could be Little Shop. It could be Little Bias. It could be Phantom. It could be, Sweetie Todd. Like there's it's such an untapped market there.
Yes.
And it, like I know people are like, it's not gonna be scary. Okay, but like we can have a fun house. We can have a house that's just, you're going through, you're singing along and you're seeing the characters, just like the Beetlejuice houses, just like the Ghostbusters. Even Ghostbusters had a few jump scares in there. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, I think a horror musical house would just make my heart so happy. And I think it's so underdone. It just needs to happen.
I like that. And I feel like it's so unique too, because there is plenty of options you could honestly do with it. And I feel like the theatrics mixed with the probably beautiful set pieces that would be done for it would be really, really neat. And it's just something they haven't, like I said, haven't really explored before. So I like that. That'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
Listen, Midsummer made their whole con this year themed after horror musicals. So there's obviously a niche for it. There's an audience
something
for
that
it.
I was going to say. The
Yeah.
people, they know what they like. What about you, Brie?
Okay, so I have a couple, and
Go ahead.
they're probably all very not something people would want. This one maybe Mothman, or
Ooh.
just like a cryptid house in general. I don't know how they would tie in like a bunch of different cryptids, so I think Mothman would be like my number one. This one, just bear with me. A Lady Gaga house, because when I was growing up, she was in her prime in her era and her stuff was so weird. I don't know how the
Prime
music,
time, baby.
yeah, I don't know how the music would sound in it, but I just know they could do it. I mean, they did a WWE house and they're doing an Aussie house and they've done a weekend house. So I think a Lady Gaga house would be cool. I didn't get to do the weekend house. So that's kind of why I'm like, I feel like that's like the next best thing.
Yes.
And then there's one more I had in mind. I can't remember. I guess it's not that important.
If you think back to it, just let me know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. Oh, Scooby-Doo. I know that's so random. And it's like so fun and like it would be kind of probably campy, but I feel like bring the Hex Girls, like bring all like the big villains that we all remember. I think that would be fun.
Very fun. And kind of, Nikki, I was going to say something else when we were talking about the musicals too, but you reminded me, Brie, when you said Scooby-Doo, and you were saying how maybe a horror musical house wouldn't be scary per se. And I feel like that's the thing with Horror Nights. So there's a lot of houses that really aren't scary to that extent. And I mean, shoot, if he could work and he got the material for it, I'd be very down. And I didn't bring it up either for a Sweeney Todd house. I think that'd be really neat and pretty creepy how they did that. So I like that. And same like you said, Brie, I think Scooby-Doo would be so much fun. And you could probably do it like anthology style with the different monsters in each room and stuff like that from the different episodes. So, Nikki, were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, I think once people stop thinking about what horror is and like open their mind to what horror could be, I feel like the argument and the discourse around the community would just be so much better. Because I feel like people start judging things before they even see what the creatives do. So.
No,
Fortnite.
I totally get that. I totally get it. Hey, look, Nick calls me the optimistic one on the podcast, and he's been very optimistic too, so I'm very proud of him this season. But as much as I'm not a Fortnite mirror, I do have faith that they'll make it pretty cool. I'm excited to see the lighting in it. I've been to the parks a little bit. I saw some of the construction update today, and they're really building it out, so I won't be avoiding it. I don't really know any of the dances, unfortunately, and I probably won't because I'm not a very good dancer, and you guys would not want to see that.
Listen, they all were hating on WWE going to the event, and it ended up being one of the better houses of the year. So just let them cook. Let them cook, and then we'll talk.
Yes. And Sam, I know we already mentioned how we would adore a Lost Boys house. Do you have any other ones you would like to see as a house?
Yeah, also I want to say, Brie, your picks, chef's kiss. I agree with all of that. But I personally, let's get some Guillermo del Toro in there, like some Crimson Peak. Like it would look so stunning. I feel like Shape of Water, if you're a Creature fan, it's kind of Creature-esque.
Another stunning
There's
movie.
so many good ones in his repertoire. And if I really want to be weird girl, hyper specific, anything by Ari Aster, like Midsummer or Hereditary would go so crazy. I think atmospheric houses are so fun, but everybody's picks here were phenomenal. I think they need to get us on the team, is all I'm saying.
Sign us up, please.
Sign me up. We're ready.
We're
The
here to
panel
help.
is here.
You got us all. But that's the thing, too. And I feel like, Nikki, how you were saying, too, with horror, there's just so many interpretations of what horror could be to so many people. I mean, people ask me what my favorite horror movie is sometimes, and I'll say, Donnie Darko, It Follows, and I guess those aren't very inherently horror movies themselves, but the deeper you look into them and the deeper the meaning, horror could really be anything that you honestly prefer. And I think that's why we all enjoy it so much. Everyone has their own niche and everyone can like their own things. And even if you don't like it, because there's plenty of things that I like that other people don't enjoy. So that's the nice part of it. But since we were already kind of breaking into it, sorry, I've been checking at the time because I tend to talk pretty quick when I do host these things. So I'm like, Jamie, you gotta stretch this out a little bit. I'm like, okay, we're doing pretty good. But we could probably do it a little more open table style or round table style. Not round table style, kind of open table for a little HHN35 discussion. So we won't do full hype list or anything like that because I know some of us are already doing episodes for that. We're already talking about it, and good thing I looked at the schedule and I want to make sure I don't spoil anything ahead of time. But HHN35 is here in 2 days when you guys are listening to this episode, actually, which is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was as someone who enjoys IP houses a lot and being able to walk through the movies and seeing these films or series or artists for that much come to life, I just think it's really, really special. I got very lucky last year having Terrifier and Five Nights at Freddy's. Those are two properties I very much enjoy that I didn't think I would ever see at the event. So this year, I don't want to say I was a little disappointed, but the quicker we are approaching this event and the amount of work I've seen them put into these scare zones and the descriptions for these houses and the originals, which are honestly probably I'm more hyped for the originals this year than the IPs, but it's just, I am liking the cohesion. I really love the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares theming. They've done really good with connecting that in the park. I'm excited that we're getting cameos from our favorite clowns, killer clowns, from Art the Clown. I'm loving the stage, little areas and everything they're having from. It's just it's starting to become really fun. I know some of you haven't been to the parks and seeing it in person, but even kind of just the expansion they've done with the downtown Clowntown area kind of starting at the Jimmy Fallon show versus a little bit closer to the beginning of where the tribute store starts right there. So I will not keep talking too much because I'll talk the whole time. But Jamie, what are your thoughts on HHN35 this year? Are you any houses you're really excited about, or what do you got in mind?
So I am most excited for just the overall experience. Like an anniversary year always feels extra special. And it just seems like it's even more special compared to the last anniversary year we've had. I just feel like already there's so much more detail. And I know usually just because of like the day guests and everything, like once HHN starts, even more props come out. So I'm always excited for the stuff that like you won't experience until the event actually starts, like what the opening ceremonies will be. Like I love not knowing what that will be until you're there, or the first night premium scream. I like not knowing what the opening, I guess like the walk-in playlist will be for Nightmare Fuel. That always gets me hyped up. Like I think I'm really just excited
That's a
for
good
like
one.
the other things we don't know about yet. That's always exciting. I guess my top IP right now is Sinners.
Nice.
I loved the movie. I'm that kind of person that like you see me on a walk and you're like, what are you listening to? And it's like when it starts going with the electric guitar from like somebody take. So I loved the music. I loved the movie. So that's my top IP. What else am I excited for? Love the food. Love the drinks. I'm probably going to list everything. So yeah,
Nothing wrong
but I'm
with
just
that,
excited that it's an
honestly.
anniversary year and I'm excited for it to feel extra special. So.
And look at me not even mentioning the freaking anniversary year. Jeez Louise. But anyone else want to give their thoughts a little bit? Who's feeling up to it? Who?
I'll do
Bree?
it.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm really excited for this year because this is the first year that I felt excited for the event as a whole and not like pieces of it. Like the Sinister and Surreal thing was okay. That first year I just walked in and was like, all right, give me what you got. And then the year after that was it was last year. And it was good, but I want like the Jack energy that we've seen like in years past. Like I've seen through other people's screens, and like I'm talking like fire, like the red neon, like that is what I was expecting from HHN whenever I walked in the first time, and I haven't gotten it. But this is my 4th year, and I feel like I'm finally gonna get that. I'm not mad that they took away a 4th scare zone and gave us Club Horror, because it seems like the other scare zones are going to get like more like girth, I guess, more entertainment. And I don't know. I just feel like this year is just like really shaping up. I know a lot of people are mad that Nightmare Fuel is back. I know a lot of people are mad that there's not 5 scare zones, but I don't know. It feels very full. It feels abundant, and like everybody's going to have something for them. And that is exciting for me personally.
No, 100%. And I feel like that kind of goes along with, too, like I said, them adding those like extra stages for like the street experience and stuff like that. It just really brings it all together, because I feel like that was always hard for me, kind of like walking around in the park and being in like the dead zones, I guess, with no like decor or scare actors and stuff like that. I know it's hard sometimes and they have to have that relief, but yeah. Nikki and Jessalyn, I know you guys were both trying to talk. I'm sorry. Jessalyn,
No, you're
you
good.
got it.
This is actually my first anniversary year since going, and I've never seen Jack before. So, and I know like how passionate people are about him, because my second year had Oddfellow, and that was like so cool to experience. And I really enjoyed him being there. So I'm excited to like get to see Jack as well and kind of see the dynamic between the two of them. And I talk about this constantly, but I'm a huge Killer Clowns from Outer Space fan. That's like my favorite movie. So I didn't think I was ever going to get to see them at the event, because there's already been a scare zone, there's already been a house, and Orlando typically doesn't repeat anything. So knowing that they're going to be there was like the cherry on, on top of this year that I'm already so excited for.
I immediately saw too when they posted Killer Clowns. I was like, Jessalyn is gonna be hype.
I was at work when I saw the announcement, and I was like, couldn't celebrate to the fullest extent, but I really wanted to.
No, of course not. And sometimes I'll see like when they were announcing more like zones and still the houses and stuff like that. I'd be at work, of course, when it would happen too, and I'd be like, and people would be like, "Oh my God, what happened?" I'm like, "Look what they just announced for Horror Nights."
Something really good just happened.
They're like, "Okay, weirdo." Nikki, were you gonna go ahead, Jessalyn? No. I thought Nikki was still in there. Jessalyn, you go ahead. You're fine.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, in terms of houses for hype, I'm most excited for HR Blood and Guts for originals.
Yay.
Because I've heard it's kind of described as like
Mhm.
Slaughter Cinema 3, which is kind of my favorite series of originals.
Mhm.
So that just seems like it's going to be right up my alley, and like campy, and some of the stuff that they've revealed about the kind of classic Halloween vibe sounds really, really exciting. And then I think I'm most excited for Sinners for IP as well. Hellraiser is pretty close behind though.
Yes. I
So
love that. I really hope Sinners. I know, Jamie, you'd mentioned you're like, oh, what are you listening to in your headphones? It's so funny because I'll be out and about somewhere or be at work, or like if one of my friends, if I'm driving in the car and I'm like, hope you guys don't mind listening to the Smile 2 soundtrack or something like that. Or people will be at work asking, I'll be like doing like side work or something. They're like, what do you listen to? And I'm like, how do I explain to them I'm listening to the Backrooms full length live YouTube set from this so and so. So I think Sinners is going to be good. And to mention back on Killer Clowns, Jamie, you said your first year was 28, yes? So you got to
Yeah.
see these clowns, didn't you?
I did. I saw them in the house, but not in the zone.
Okay, see,
So,
I get them flipped. I was going to say, I
yeah.
forget which years go back and forth, but the house was even fabulous too. Oh my goodness. And honestly, I feel like it's such a thing with them too. Like, I wouldn't even mind if we got another Killer Clowns house. Just saying, I
you
wouldn't
know,
be
I
upset
wouldn't be
with it.
mad, but
So, yes, and especially you living out of state. Oh, I'm so glad, Jamie, you got to see that. And Jessalyn, I'm glad that you get to see them now too.
so
Nikki,
excited.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. I just also want to say I'm also excited for the clowns to be back. Those are my babies. I love them. I spent too much money on this bad boy getting it
I was
signed
gonna
by
say I know
all
Nikki
the
too.
clowns.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
love
very
it.
excited to see them back in the streets. I would also not be upset about Killer Clown's house, but I'm glad it's a street, so that way I'm actually able to
Yes.
like linger
Mm,
without being a weirdo. We're not gonna stalk the
Literally.
clowns. But you know,
Yes.
just like vibe with them.
Mhm.
What I don't know. It's anniversary year. I'm excited to see some familiar faces featured at the event. I'm excited for HR Blood and Guts. I feel like it's gonna be a very heavy HHN lore house, you know?
Yes. Mhm.
Same with Jack versus Oddfellow. I think
Mhm.
both are gonna have really big callbacks you're gonna want to keep an eye out for. IP wise, I'm gonna get mushy, and I'm obviously not my most hype, but I'm very, very excited for Ozzy, just because Ozzy is like Alex is my fiance's
Mhm.
like idol. Um, like this man was devastated last year when he passed. Like it was, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's his guy. So I'm
Mhm.
very excited to experience that house with him and kind of like just like live through it with him, because I know he's very, very excited for it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just gonna be very, very special. I am excited for Hellraiser too.
Mhm.
I just think it's a very different property that's HHN has never done. And I
Yeah.
know both Aiello and Murdy mentioned that that's been like a white whale for them of like
Mhm.
IP wise. Like they've been wanting to do Hellraiser for such a long time. And I actually got to see Pinhead's character design at Midsummer, like up close. I was in my
Oh my
man's
God, it looks
business.
so good.
I felt so bad. I was like, whoa.
It
And I'm
looks
like
so good.
peering into his little like belly button
Mhm.
ring thing. I'm like, look at that.
Yeah.
But the work they did on that character design, chef's kiss. Like
It looks very, very good. And I
it
was going to
looks
say
sick.
too, if you guys want to unmute while we're doing this kind of little roundtable thing, that's totally fine too. I just know we kind of want to chime in, and I feel bad having to go back and forth. So it should be okay if you guys want to, just so we could all join in.
Perfect.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm the house. So, like I said, being an IP girly, man, I feel like this year, not saying they're bad ones, but I think Hellraiser is what I'm most excited for IP wise too. It's something we've never had at the event. I think Pinhead is enough of a horror icon that he probably should have been there a long time ago. I think
Oh.
it will make set wise and design wise is very like gooey gory, I feel like is how I explained it like recently. Because I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I'm not the hugest Hellraiser fan, but I've
Sure.
watched one. I will have watched all three before the event starts, so I could see it before the house. But I like it for what it is, and I think it'll be really neat. And I think it's fun that we're getting a different, not a Mikey, even though I love him, or a Leatherface, or Jason
Literally.
again. So it's nice to have something different, which is good.
I know a lot of
Mhm.
people were hoping for a Mikey house just because it's anniversary year. I'm like, let the man sleep.
He needs
He needs
a
rest.
break. He needs rest. He is
Needs to
busy,
rest.
booked and busy. Yeah. Sam, were you going to pop in and say something?
Yeah, I was going to say kind of same thing. I'm very excited for Hellraiser. It's an anniversary year. I think they're going to go all out for everything. You can tell just based on like the props you see around the park now, like they're definitely getting ready for it to be a great year. I'm excited about everything, but I am, just like other people said, H&R Blood and Guts, that's such a great callback. I went to the original house. I remember thinking
you did
like,
too?
oh,
awesome.
I did.
Awesome.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, they're bringing him back. And he is a hilarious character. So if you've never met him, it is going to be a really fun ride. And I think just like you were saying, like Slaughter Cinema 3, it really is going to be like a Slaughter Cinema 3 in the best possible way. I'm curious if they're going to throw any callbacks to like, there was all these rumors about getting like a cat lady scare zone turned house. And I was like, are they going to put it in H&R Blood and Guts? I don't know. But
that'd be really cool.
I think we're going to get a lot of fun Easter eggs. But I'm really stoked about everything that's happening this year, and I think it's going to be a really good year. I can't wait to do my little jig in front of the Sinner's house, like in line. It's going to be great.
So remember that the station that HR Blancas does his show is in Cary, Ohio, and I think that is that's the location for a lot of our characters from the past. I feel like it would be the craziest thing if we've seen someone we've seen in the past jump out.
It would be very cool. I was wondering if any of you guys had done the year that HR Blood and Guts had the original house. Because for me, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really like an anthology house. I love like a Slaughter Cinema. I love a Slaughter Cinema. I love a little bit something different every time. And unfortunately, Jessalyn, I don't think you did it either. Some of you I know may have, but I didn't do the original Slaughter Cinema, sadly. Unfortunately. I know, Nikki, I'm very upset with myself too. Yeah. And I feel like I've also... Jamie, I think everyone was mentioning too, we watched the POVs on YouTube. Definitely one I had gone back and watched before going to the 2. And now I always hype up Slaughter Cinema 2 and everyone's like, yeah, you should have done the first one. It was so much better. And I'm like, I thought this one was fun. I really liked it.
Slaughter Cinema 2 is my favorite house that year and like one of my favorite houses of all time. Again, I kind of really love the like campy, like you said, anthology. And I had the same thing where people were like, are you sure? Did you see the original? And I didn't. But I did the same thing prior, was watching the walkthroughs to kind of prepare. But I loved it.
Yeah. So I think Blood and Guts will be a nice little kind of callback for that, especially for spoilers. Have some of you, so I was going to say, Jamie, I know you were muted, but I didn't know if you could hear me. My mic was kind of messing up. Did you look at any of the stuff from like the UK event that they had? So they had some of the, I guess like kind of descriptions of like some of what's going to be in the house and stuff like that. But,
so that stuff I sometimes click off of. Like I saw some look like the key art for some stuff, but I usually click off because as much as I love like being an out-of-stater, I will look at the like the props that go out and everything, but I usually try to be totally surprised for when I go into the houses. So I usually try to click off. And I think people are usually pretty good at putting like spoiler warnings. So as soon as I see that, I'm like, I don't want to know. I want to be surprised.
I was going to say, though, for the HR Blood and Guts house, I won't say what it is then because I don't want to spoil it for you, but they did mention a couple of things that we might see or themings that we might see in his house, and I think it's going to be very fun. I think we're going to get a lot of classic vintage Halloween vibes from this house, and I'm very excited for that. So I think that'll be really cool. And I think it's very interesting that we're getting, I don't know if you guys have done... well, it was either the house or the scare zone. Again, this is one I did, but I think it's interesting the invasion house that we're getting has no relation whatsoever to the actual invasion, which is very confusing for me. Yeah.
But then it has to do with Club Coconut.
The invasion at Dead Coconut Club. I was going to say it's related to that.
Right. It's campy there, but it's not campy here. And yeah.
It's it throws me off a little bit. And I will say, I'm not a huge Alien gal. Unfortunately, I like sci-fi and stuff like that to an extent, but I feel like the aliens don't really do it for me that much. I will go in open-minded, though, and be positive with it, because I think it'll be fun. Like, Nikki, how you said the Coconut Club, I'm liking the theme. I think it could work, especially with, like, the annual fall festival in the middle of wherever they have invasion. I think it'll be really neat, but I don't know, man. These originals this year, though, are really interesting. In a good way, Jamie, for me. Yes, Jessalyn.
I think I'm on the opposite spectrum where you were saying like this year for IPs for you is like a little bit lower. Usually the originals are like the top half of my
Yes.
hype list, and this year they're a little lower, and I think it's just because the genres of horror and the subgenres that they're hitting aren't
Yes.
like my particular cup of tea. So I'm sure it's going to be something where like I go through it and I'm really impressed and like
Right.
unexpected. But this year they're like a little lower for me because it's just hitting on like subgenres that I like usually don't vibe with as much.
I
Same.
100% get that. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
going to say YouTuber, yeah.
Yeah. The only two like originals that I'm super excited about are Jack and Oddfellow and HR Blood and Guts, but the rest of them are like kind of low for me. So I relate. Yeah.
Are you guys excited for
Yeah.
Stranger Things?
Yes.
Man, yeah.
Jessalyn
love the
said
swan
it.
song.
No.
Meh.
Jamie said yes. I heard some yeses. I heard some nos. Personally, I love I'm a completionist. I need to see the
Ooh.
finale in house
fair.
form. In house form. Hopefully, it'll be a bit of a redemption house. Unfortunately, from the last iteration of Stranger Things we saw, won't say it's bad. Scare actors did a fantastic job with what they had to work with. But I'm really kind of hoping, since it's probably maybe the last time we'll go to Hawkins, honestly, at Horror Nights, you can never put it past them with bringing stuff back sometimes. But I really hope it's a nice, like, farewell tribute and they really go all out for
Yeah.
this house.
It's a swan song. Let her have her swan song. You know,
Let
let
'em
the
happen.
crowds come
Yeah.
in for it with their little sailor suits for Skips of Horror with them.
I know. It's like, I feel like I'm going to get kind of emotional, honestly.
I feel like my opinion of the house right now, like how I'm feeling about it, doesn't stem from it being at Halloween Horror Nights. It stems from the season. And I'm like, I'm sad it's over.
Yeah.
I'm sad it's leaving. I'm glad it's leaving at the same time. Like, it's just such a mix of emotions.
Yes.
I hope I walk in and I'm blown away, though. I hope it like brings
Yeah.
back the feeling of like loving Stranger Things and not just being mad at the ending for me personally.
Yeah.
And I feel like Halloween Horror Nights has a really great ability of taking like a property that's maybe not everybody's favorite or didn't execute the way that we all had hoped and turn it into something great. Like The Exorcist Believer movie was not my personal cup of tea, and I know it
Oh, I
wasn't
never
super well
finished it.
received, but that house
No.
was crazy. I fell asleep.
No, I was going to say, I've never finished it. I was terrible. And that's the thing when I try to watch movies late at night too, I end up falling asleep, even if I like it or I didn't like it. But that's a great point, Jessalyn, because I feel like there's so many. So with Evil Dead Burn, I will say, I know we're only a couple days out from the events, but I will not be seeing it before doing the house just because I
Same.
really haven't had the desire to see it. Nick saw it. He wasn't a huge
Sure.
fan. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it, honestly. And I won't lie, I recently finally watched Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. It has taken me this long to finally watch all of them, and I absolutely love them. Nikki, I know you're shocked. I was too, because I literally told myself, I was like, how could I be missing out on these for so long? These are so fun and absolutely ridiculous, and I loved them.
They're classics.
Yes, very, very much classics, and I can't believe I waited this long to watch them. But I didn't mind. I really liked, if you guys have seen the Evil Dead 2013, I'm sure a lot of us have seen it,
My
the remake.
favorite.
Yeah.
Loved it, exactly. Loved
Love.
it. Really big fan of it. I liked Rise. It was all right, but I just feel like without Bruce Campbell, it's just not really the same Evil Dead for me. And I can appreciate like a comedy and horror occasionally. I think it works well for those older 80s campy style movies, but I don't know, kind of how they're doing it nowadays, and like Instagram just spoils everything for me anyways, even though my brain doesn't kind of remember, so I forget anyways. But I feel like with the clips I've seen, I'm like, maybe I'll just do the house before even watching the movie and just see what I
seeing
think.
clips of like, I think it's for sure at least one Deadite. I'm not sure if it's two Deadites, but they're making out,
Yes.
and I'm like, what is going on in this film?
Oh yeah.
Like,
So
That's
I
real.
watched,
I
Unfortunately,
did go
that's real.
see the movie.
I was going to say, have any of you guys seen it? Jamie,
Yeah.
you've seen
Yeah.
it. Jessalyn, you've seen it.
Unfortunately,
Sam
that's
has
in the
seen
movie.
it.
Is it two human? Is it
Oh.
two Deadites making out? Or
Yes
is it a
and no.
human and
Yes.
Deadite?
I don't mind spoilers.
Yes.
Yes and no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes and no,
exactly.
but they're
It's
like
yes and
they're like an
no.
actual couple. They're not just like random Deadites. Like they're
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Right.
Dead in
HHN
love.
chose like freaky properties this year.
Right.
Yeah, after I saw the
There's
movie,
some,
I was like,
weird stuff happening.
I was like, what are we gonna walk into? I like kind of like the movie, but the more I sat on it, the more I was like, did I really like that movie, or was it just like good in the moment? Because it had some really good gore moments, but
Right.
Yeah.
it just did not balance like previous Evil Dead, where we had a lot of like comedy and horror. It was
Yeah,
definitely
sure.
trying to be more traditional horror than have a lot of those comedy elements in it. So the people I saw it with all really liked it. So I was like, yeah, I think I liked it. And then I was like, no, I don't think I did.
Now that you think about it,
Sure.
you're like, you know what? Actually,
You know,
I don't
actually,
think I like Evil Dead one.
I don't think I would.
I don't think I really
like
like Evil Dead anymore.
I know.
I might be an outlier, but I actually did really enjoy it. And I think it's more akin to like Evil Dead 2013, where it's much more like violent and gross and
Gotcha.
poopy.
Mm-hmm.
Where I do think in terms of like a house, I do think it'll translate well in terms of the like scares and the character designs. I am really excited for that, but I think it'll be a really scary house.
And I know we mentioned Evil Dead Believer, Jesus, The Exorcist Believer, and that was another movie I didn't see. Well, the movie wasn't even friggin' out at the time that the house came out, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot how that shit worked. It was very, very confusing too with that whole situation. But yeah, I've still never finished it to this day, unfortunately. But fabulous house. Very,
Yeah.
Really
very
great
good,
house.
very scary house, great house. Nick is Us's number one hater. The movie Us, unfortunately. I know, Jamie, I absolutely
What's
love
his
it.
reason? I need the
It's
reason.
he almost literally, Jamie, it was quite unfortunate. We were in the theater watching this, and I sometimes have a tough time going to the theater. I get a little anxious, but I was really locked in. I was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to talk to him after this. This is fantastic. I loved it." And he like whispered over to me, kind of like 30 minutes out. He was like, "I'm about to walk out." And I'm like, "Oh my God, do you not like it?" So then I got really upset. He just thought it was kind of silly. He thought it was a little boring. He's watched it more a couple times now, but it's funny because he absolutely loved the House at Horror Nights.
So good.
He loved it,
That's
and
so
I did
good.
too. But I was still so disappointed. But I think it's funny how they can take these properties that even you don't really like that much or don't have that connection to, and you're like, you know what? I kind of like you. I kind of like
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good house. I haven't seen the movie, but I like just from like the Deadites, like the design of
Yes.
them, terrifying. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't have to watch the movie for that to be scary in a house.
you. Exactly. And I like the element of surprise too, honestly, kind of not expecting something. Because I feel like with some of, obviously with the IPs, you can get IPs, you can get an idea of what you may see in the house. But even with the originals too, I feel like this year, like Cybergoria has me intrigued, and that's usually not really my vibe either. But I feel like it's these different themes that we usually don't get that I think's really bringing me in. I think we have a very, for being like such a cohesive year, I feel like there's a lot of different
Well-rounded.
things going on. Yes, but I like it
Variety.
because
Yeah.
it's a little different, a
Yeah.
little something for everyone, like you said
Right.
before. But yeah, I think Sinners will be fun. I know there was one. Oh, I'm very Sam. I had seen your HHN outfit video, which obviously ate Nikki's, yours too, everyone, and Jessalyn. Everyone's been doing their cute HHN stuff, and I love it. It gets me so excited for opening night. But the Madlands Caged Cannibals, the Fits are going to eat. Don't know if the house is going to eat, unfortunately.
Well, I
Literally
think
my
they're going to
thoughts.
eat at some
The
point
people
because
will
that's what they're all about, right?
They
I'm gonna
will.
bring out the cheetah prints.
I was going
It
to
is
say, they
time.
will literally be eating.
They will literally
The
eat.
cannibals will eat.
Yes.
I was more excited about like the rumors of it being like a spooky zoo than
Me
it is
too.
like being cannibals.
Me
I think
too.
I feel like
Yeah.
I always will let them cook, like let them put it out. I'm just like we've talked about, we're not sure about a certain property and then we go and we're like, wow, they delivered.
Yes.
I won't take like the 3 sentences they gave me and say like, okay, I'm not too excited about it. I'm
Right.
like intrigued
Mhm.
and we'll see how they end up delivering that concept because it could be really cool.
I feel like it's giving museum. And I feel like the problem
I
is
loved
that
museum, guys.
I liked it.
I was going to say,
I was,
Jessalyn,
like,
did you
so
like
number
Museum
one
too?
fan.
I
Oh my
did,
God.
yeah.
I was so excited for it, and I was really let down. And I feel like the problem is that the story was too hard to follow for Halloween Horror Nights house. And I feel like it's going to be the same way for Madlands, personally. Just because, like, it's not animals, it's cannibals who have taken over the zoo after all the animals are gone and died off, and they're using the wall art and information to be like them. I don't know.
See, but I think
just
that's
feel
going to
like
be
it's
funny. I think they're gonna be
exactly. I
so
feel like it's not
goofy.
going to be. Yeah, maybe it'll be campy, but I don't think they're going for camp. I don't know.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
That's what I was kind of thinking with the invasion house too. I thought it was supposed to be really scary, but then I heard that it like people have seen, which this one is one that I haven't looked at any of the key art or anything like that, but people are saying they kind of look a little goofy, and I was like, oh, well, we'll see. But when I think of aliens like that, I know I've said this before to Nick too, but like signs like growing up didn't really bother me. Like I always see a lot of people saying like, oh, and for me, like I said, I was a big scaredy cat as a kid. I know we could all say we were, but I don't know. The aliens never really did it for me. I feel
No.
like even as I've gotten older, I've just never really like resonated with those kind of movies. Like I really enjoyed Nope. Hated the actual
Yeah.
alien design. Thought it was really weird. But for what it is, I do feel like we have a lot of variety this year. So
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
some people who are like deathly afraid of aliens who are so excited for that house, actually. I was
Yes.
shocked. I was like,
Good.
oh, did you see this? They were like, yeah, I'm about to be screaming, crying. And that's usually me. So I'm excited for somebody else to be scream crying and not me.
yes.
I'm excited
I
for
was
the
trying it, and I
effects they're putting in. Oh, sorry.
No, Nikki,
Yeah.
you go ahead. Actually mention that because I didn't look too much into that, but I know
Yeah.
Nick had said something about it. I heard something about tentacles. Ooh.
The tentacles and
Scary.
I believe shaking floors to make us feel like we're being abducted. Like it sounds like they're really getting experimental with the special effects in this house. I think they even mentioned that this is
That's
like their
fun.
most like far reaching in terms of special effects that they've done in a house. So I'm excited to see that because I'm always intrigued to see what they can do.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was hoping it was gonna be our campy invasion
Yes.
characters that
Excuse
we've
me.
seen from the past. But I don't know, it
Right.
could be terrifying. I think if they really get like those lighting effects going and like tentacles coming at us and like flashing lights, I think it could really probably get to
Mhm. And I bet
No,
the
100%.
costuming is going to be like big and tall, which I feel like worked in Yeti, which was like kind of like a silly concept, but that had some like really good scares. So maybe
It
we're in
did.
for something kind of along those lines.
Mhm.
Oh no. Oh, we lost
Oh,
Nikki.
did we lose? Oh, Nikki,
Uh-oh.
what happened? That's okay. I'm pretty sure she knows how to use Riverside. I was going to say
Yes,
she
she
knows.
is.
She know how to use
Yes.
Riverside.
She
It didn't
said.
stop anything, so you're good. We're
Sorry.
still moving and grooving. I was like, she knows how to use Riverside. I think she got
She was
it.
abducted.
I know. I'm talking all that shit about the aliens.
Watch this.
Literally, right? Right.
Invasion.
I was gonna say too, this kind of brings me up about I wonder what houses will get little the guest activated triggers in. I feel like that's always something I get very excited for too.
Lizard.
I could put that yeah, literally me. Could see
Yeah.
Madlands and
Oh,
Dolph
at the
last
zoo.
year. Oh, it was fun with the little like easy bake oven one that they had, and then the little like battery pack or whatever that zhuzhed. I could probably see him doing in the zoo or an invasion.
Probably Jack and Oddfellow too.
I was
Jack
gonna
and
say
Oddfellow
Jack and
would be a
Oddfellow.
good
Like silly, goofy triggers.
one.
Yes.
Yes.
HR
Yeah.
Blood and Guts and
Yeah, I was
That
going to
one,
say
yeah.
HR for sure.
And I'm glad you brought up Jamie because I feel like sometimes when I try to think of the list of the houses off the top of my head before the event has started, when I've actually been doing them and stuff like that, I'll be writing down the list sometimes for like our hype list and stuff that we do. And I'm like, what house am I missing that I didn't look up right now? And the other day, it was Jack and Oddfellow. I was like, how did I forget to put him on there? But I feel like since we had MegaCon so early and we got that announcement fairly early, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm sorry I forgot about you guys. But I do
We did the
think I'll
same
be-
thing. Yeah.
Did you? Yes.
Last night we were like, all right, let's do our hype list together. And we did it. And we were just like, what are we missing? And it was
What am I missing?
HR Blood and Guts and Jack and Oddfellow. And they're like the top of my
Yes.
list. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
literally.
Mhm.
And then I forgot that the Stranger Things Lagoon show. I don't know how you guys feel about the Lagoon
Oh.
show, but I love a water show, something outdoors that don't have to be packed in. I think it'll be neat. I guess it's like a collaboration of all kind of best of all the seasons.
It's like supposed to be like a whole little all 5 seasons put into one. I guess with like
Okay.
not the historic, but the iconic things in each. I'm just hoping we get Purple Rain. I will be sobbing wherever I am in the park if I hear Purple Rain going.
And that's what I was thinking about too. If you guys would ever be so interested, I think it'd be really fun. But I was like, I like the Lagoon shows. I mean, they're nothing too crazy, but I think it's fun for what it is. But in that little Central Park area, they have the nice little grassy area. Usually everyone's standing up. And I was like, what if I did like a little setup there, like brought a little towel, watch the little show, hang out, take a little break. I was like, that'd be nice for the Stranger Things the last time for our visit to Hawkins. But that was another thing that I forgot about. And I know a lot of you guys like Nightmare Fuel, yes? Are we Nightmare
I've
Fuel
never
fans
gone.
here? Jessalyn, have you not done the show? Look at all of us. Oh my goodness, I feel like you
You
would
need
love
to
it,
go.
Jessalyn.
I get it,
Yes.
though.
I
get
think
it.
this is the
I get it
year
too.
because they made it vampires. Like that is the draw for me.
Yes, yes.
It's a one and done for us because we're out of towners. So this year we're getting 5 nights, but typically we only get like 2 or 3. So it's just like a lot of time to dedicate to a show, and we're like kind of there for everything else.
Yes. And that's my biggest thing too, is kind of like setting aside the time. I'm like, I'm already bopping through a zone, whatever. And even sometimes if we don't want to wait for a house, I just kind of like hanging around sometimes. And I feel like, especially in this Florida humidity, it's very tough for me waiting outside with the big crowd to get in, to sit down, to wait for it to start, for the show to go, and then to get out with a lot of people. So it kind of stresses me out. But I am loving this blood noir. It's grown on me, I will say. I was a little upset at first because I was really hoping we'd get a Jack and like Oddfellow stage show kind of thing. That would have been really, really fun. But I would like the more, I know you mentioned Rocky Horror before, Nikki, and obviously we've had Bill and Ted's and stuff like that, but I would like to have more like, I don't know, shows to kind of like deter the crowds, kind of like how we have the Lagoon show. I think is a
People
great
eaters.
option.
Yeah.
People eaters. Yes, there you go. That's the phrase I was looking for.
We
Yeah.
have animal actor stage. I know the animals are back there, but can't we, you know?
No, they're sleeping.
Yeah,
they're sleeping.
But
So-
can we, like, you know, for the 2 short months, can we just, you know, listen, I have a house. We put in.
Yes. And I feel like, I try to think about it back in the day too. I'm like, did they ever use anything for the animal actor stage?
Because of the
No.
animals.
I was
That's
gonna
what I've
say,
been told is that
maybe
they can't
'cause
touch
that's-
it because the animals.
Because that's their house, I guess. Oh,
That's where they live.
that's their home.
But I feel like there's an easy solution to this, and that's literally
Yes.
just rehousing them for the 2 months.
Very true. We need
You
some
know?
fosters.
I think the
Locally.
animal
I feel like-
actors' days are numbered anyway, so maybe one day.
Oh no! I
Maybe
do
they
like
need
the
permanent
show.
just feel-
homes.
Maybe
I just feel
know.
like that's probably gonna see does anyone else feel like it's gonna see its way out soon? Like,
You know,
just
I've never
in
seen it.
I would think so.
I've seen it
I've
once.
never
I've
seen
also,
Never
you're
seen
right,
it.
I've never seen it ever.
that.
I'm
Mm-mm.
more
No.
of a,
Oh,
a
it's
born
so
girl, born
cute.
stuntacular
is.
girl.
Jamie, I've
Yeah.
seen the Bourne show once, and honestly, it was pretty cool.
It's so good, and it's so the AC bumps.
It
Kicks,
does.
absolutely
Yeah.
kicks in there. And I
But
was a
that's
little,
another stage they could use.
that is, and I know people have talked about that before, but yeah, it was so funny. Nick and I did it one day, and I was like, we've never done the Bourne show. And it was honestly pretty cool. A little startling, a lot of action packed, but it was pretty fun for what it was.
You
And
mean
I always,
the Stuntacular was action
you know what? They lived up to the name. They did, because the way the person who does like the little introduction was kind of explaining it, I was like, wow, it doesn't seem too hyped up for this, but there also wasn't too many people there, so wasn't really talking to a big crowd. But I think, and that'd be perfect because it's right there in the little Hollywood section too, so have a little something going on in there since they're not even using it for the show
Yeah, there's
during
a
like
holding
Horror Nights
space
time.
inside.
Yes.
I wonder
Yeah.
if they're gonna do anything for Horror Nights when they revamp the horror makeup show. Like, I feel like that'd be the perfect stage to just.
I know.
So when I did that thing where they invited my high school out, my theater department, that's where they took us to go over the audition process. So I feel like they use that for special events during HHN.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen like people like check in over there, whether it's for one thing or another. Like they use that as
Sure.
some sort of space.
That makes a lot of sense.
I
know.
thought
I've
they were
always
using the
thought-
sound stage like by the Ghostbuster firehouse.
They do that for the media events, but I'm
Oh.
talking more like when they invite the
like
schools
other
out
events.
or like celebrities. I'm guessing like that kind of thing. I think they use that space for that.
I know. I was wondering too, because I always forget about it. I always thought it was interesting though that they didn't have it. Well, I guess because you would have to have the people who host the show working that late at night, but it was always nice at least having it there for a good little photo op or something. But it would be fun if they were able to utilize that space during the event as well. And I know, I was going to say, I know some of you probably saw, but we are getting a Hamikuma meet and greet, which is also,
I'm so excited for that.
I was just going to say, I'm very excited. We had friends last year who went to Japan, and I was very upset they did not meet Hamikuma. Apparently, very popular, which I'm
He
not
is. I think
I think it's
surprised.
going to be
Yeah.
a madhouse at Fight or
Yeah.
Done. Is that where they're having it?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yes.
Like, I think it's going to be a madhouse.
It's gonna be
for
crazy.
him.
They're about to have his meet and greet in the Born Stuntacular show.
That's what they're actually using it for.
That's what they're using the stage area for.
That's they're
you
like,
queue
you know
up
what?
in the queue and then like one at a time.
Literally. I
Finally.
think it's
And
going to
then
be
he's
crazy.
doing the stunts.
Yeah,
That'll
and
be
then
the
he's-
most people that
He's
have ever
doing
been
the
in there.
He was
But
at
I'm-
Midsummer and I couldn't meet him because he was only there
was
for
gonna
one
ask.
day and
Oh,
it was
no.
so bad. I chose Pinhead over him. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's
That's
It's
fair.
okay.
Valid,
That's fair.
but it was insanity to get to that bear. And I love him too.
So
Don't get me wrong. I've been like
cute.
following him for like so long, even before they brought like his merch over to us. I'm like, he is so
Yes.
cute. And his little friends too, the white princess one. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Hamikuma Soul and Hamikuma Punk. Absolutely
Yes.
adorable.
Bring
when my
them
friends
all.
when my friends were over there in Japan, I was like, please, screenshots. If you find this little cutie, and literally, obviously, the hype is freaking real because they had like no Hamikuma stuff left. I did get a little, I had them get me a pressed penny from over there of Hamikuma Punk, and I was like, okay, this is still cute, so it works.
They do press
But yeah.
pennies in Japan?
I was just gonna ask the same thing.
Turns out they do.
That's so
Turns out they
crazy.
do. That's what I said in the Universal Studios Japan. They sure did. I was like,
They
that's
love
neat.
their
'Cause
press pennies.
they were like, they have this. And I said, you know what? Do it.
Works.
Not bad. It works. Yes.
It
But
was
yeah.
crazy how fast that merch went last year because I was like in the 5 and dime just like waiting when they put it out and people were
Mhm.
walking out with like armfuls of
Mhm.
the like popcorn buckets and the bag jars. And it was
Yes.
a lot.
But the
Yes.
popcorn bucket was available at the UAP store.
They ended up
few
putting-
months after
Crazy.
HHN.
Uh-huh. And I was going to say, I feel like, and that's the hype with everything, which is fine because I give into the hype all the time, especially when it comes to mystery bags and blind boxes, as you all know very well as well.
Mhm.
But I think that's the same thing too. I feel like everyone kind of got like all the merch when it first came out. And I don't think we all realized because we're worried about stuff selling out that we're like, damn, they still had a lot of this stuff left over, huh? But everyone.
Well, you have to because you never know. I feel
Yes.
like the weirdest things they only have small quantities of, and
Yes.
then you see it one week, and the next week it's gone.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's come to a point they're like, I'm just gonna grab it all. And I feel like there's also a culture of like, I got 10 of these, and then it's
Oh,
And
yes.
first.
and the
And
first, yes,
first.
yes,
And
and the
first.
first. I saw
Yes.
someone get like 10 boxes of the Icon blind boxes, and I'm like,
Nikki, I did
there's
too.
not even 10 variants of it. So what are you doing?
And I was very upset about it actually. And I was reading
Yeah.
some of the comments and I was like, okay, valid. She like kept them to herself. She's going to trade and stuff like that too. But I was like, hate to be a brat, but like, I didn't even get one. Like Nick went the day of like 30 minutes to an hour after they were dropped in the store. They were like, yeah, sorry, buddy. Those are gone out of here. But never fear, because in a couple days, I'm sure they will have some more. And I hope
be
we
back.
could all get, I know I was going to say it. They'll be back and we could all get one and be happy
Yeah.
and get something cute and fun.
And that's the thing is they always end up restocking everything anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
like if you're not first, like it will still be there eventually
Yeah.
because guess what?
It'll
Universal
be
loves
there.
money.
They
And they love
do.
us spending our money. So
And I
Yes, they do.
And I love to spend it with them.
That's
I
why
love
they
to
put
spend it
merch
there.
out
I
in
love to
July.
I know.
Yeah.
Tell me.
And we all buy it. It's okay.
They know
Yeah.
what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And they're like, you
And the
just
merch
wait.
is Oh, I'm sorry. And the
No,
merch
I was
is
gonna
really
say, go
cute
ahead.
this year. There's so much stuff that I'm like, I might be in trouble.
The Killer Clown
And
stuff
that's-
is really
I did-
cute this year,
Go
so
ahead,
you're
Nikki.
in luck.
I'll just say, so cute.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm
cute.
really excited to get one of the like mystery bag charms because those are so cute. But
So be careful. I think there's a conspiracy with those because
okay.
everyone I known has gotten the ruby.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
Really? Who did you get?
What did
I
you
got
get?
You guys are so funny. I got my purse isn't in here, but the little clown that comes out of like the
I got him too.
popcorn head.
Yes.
yeah.
So it's
Little
either
guy.
Ruby or that guy, but no
Yeah,
one has gotten
okay.
anything else besides
I-
those two.
I got Jumbo, Jojo, and then the ray gun.
From this
I
year?
think
Yeah, from like
Okay, you
the
got
like
lucky,
last
yeah.
week.
Okay.
I think
But I
Nick and
think-
Tyler got the ray gun too.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
like,
The ray
we
gun is
just
so
grabbed
cute.
like from different shelves. I don't know if it's like if they're all the same on one shelf or what it
Mhm.
is, but
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
I had-
manifesting Shorty, so we'll see.
No,
We'll see.
literally.
Shorty's so cute.
I had
Mm.
5 friends pull 5 boxes and all 5 were Ruby.
I would.
rude.
I feel like I'm like I was talking to Sam about this the other day. I always want to get creature when there's anything creature related for a
Oh.
mystery or a blind.
Yep.
The whatever makes
And
you
I-
happy bag.
The whatever, yes. Oh my
So
god, it's so
cute.
cute. I think
It's
Sam
literally
got
in
it.
my
I was gonna
room
say, I
right
think Sam got it.
now.
It's so
So
cute,
good.
so cute. But Nikki would be happy to hear this because I know she's a big fan. But I'd always get the bride. If I ever say out loud that I want creature something, I always get the bride. I have like 3 or 4 bride blind box stuff up there that when
Amazing.
I was trying to get that she has her own unintentional little area now
As she
for
should.
when I was trying to get the little when they came out with the blind boxes with the scarecrow and the jack and chance and all
Yes.
them.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
She's the last one I could find. I couldn't pull any brides, and then Alex
Yes.
pulled me a white variant bride. I'm like,
Did you
how did you
get
do that? I'm like, how did you
Chase
do that?
one. Those ones
But
are
I
really
did.
cute.
At Midsummer they had the whatever makes you happy blind boxes for the monsters, and I pulled creature and wolfman.
Those are so cute.
Nikki,
They're
I have
so
the.
cute.
I literally grabbed. I got the bride. I shoot you not. So if you aren't already trading with someone, and if you do want the bride, I got her.
I do, but I'm so attached to these two as
No.
well.
And that's totally fine too, because I was going to say I met a sweet new friend at the Five and Dime the other day who told me she's also a big fan of Bride, and she had gotten 2 creatures of the same one from the mystery. I was like, 2 of them.
Wow.
I told Sam this the other day too. I was like,
I
"Damn."
know.
I was like, so
I was like,
it's-
I love it when things work out. The day that they dropped, like all the girlies were outside, like all pulling them together. It was so cute. And we were like, do you want to trade? Do you want to trade?
Aw.
So we were all here to like help
Cute.
each other get
And
what
that's
they wanted.
girlhood.
And I was like,
and that's
it really
girlhood.
is.
And that's girlhood. Spending money at the PAX when it's 97
trading.
degrees outside. And
We
then
are
and then trading.
gatherers.
Yes.
We are
Yes. Yes. I feel like we should just use like the barter and trading system now for when it comes to anything like that. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, how are we running on here? Honestly, we did. For me, talking a little fast, getting through this, and I was a little anxious and nervous. We're looking at an hour and 20. I think we did pretty good. Honestly.
I was gonna say we're gonna yap.
Yeah.
We're gonna yap, Jamie.
We're yapping. But just so it's not too late for all of us, I know we have many other things to get ready for these next couple days coming up in preparation for opening day. Just another quick reminder, we do have our tonight, the Family Feud event going on at Topgolf Orlando. Doors open at 5:30, and that will be at 7. We have the Big Brewery collab coming out as well. But do you guys have any final thoughts on the event this year as a whole? I'm excited to see everyone in the fog. I know for Bree and Jamie and Jessalyn, I've met Bree and Jessalyn in person, but Jamie, hopefully we get to connect in the fog this year and finally get to meet in person, which would be very,
Yeah,
very
I'm
nice.
so excited.
Yes.
Finally.
I'm excited to see everyone. I know. I feel like it's always fun. I call it like internet friends, but it's like, I feel like I talk to my friends online like more than I talk to like regular people in my everyday life sometimes. So
Same.
yes. But if anyone has any closing final thoughts on the event as a whole or anything they wanted to add, the floor is yours. If not, we could probably just do another little outro. You guys could kind of go in the order that we went when we did our introductions, just where we could find you on socials again. And usually Nick kind of has to do, I'm Nick, I'm Seamus, I'm Jamie, but that's a lot to do and kind of stresses me out. So I'll just close this out for after we're done so we don't got to get confused. But anyone else have any last thoughts?
Just can't wait.
Just can't
Yeah,
wait.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm excited.
One thing. I heard that the Death by Cheese Stick and the Why Not Have Both Pizza are coming back this year. And I just thought that was news that you guys might want to hear before we send off.
If that cheese stick comes back into my life, I truly hope you guys know I will be very, very. Did you all perchance get to try it last year?
Oh, yes.
Did everyone tried it? Oh, what
3
a
of 'em.
delight. What a delight. And not a huge red sauce gal, not a big marinara fan, but where they had the hellacious looking corn dog last year in the same booth as the cheese stick.
I liked the corn dog.
So did Nick, honestly. I wish I could have tried it. For those, some of you probably know, some of you don't know, I don't eat meat, so I always try to work my way around trying some of the different stuff at the event. But ask them a little side of the jalapeno ranch with the cheese stick that came on the corn dog. Very good. A little bit of a game
wait a
changer.
minute.
I was going to say I'm a big sauce gal. So I was very happy to put that together. But if that's it, like I said, we'll kind of go through how we exited before. I think it kind of switched up a little bit. But if you guys remember the order we were in, That would be great.
Jamie, Jessalyn, me, Bree, Sam.
Yes, perfect. Jamie, my sweet friend Jamie Does Halloween. If you want to close this out, where we could follow you.
So Jamie Does Halloween on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
If you're interested in hearing anything else from me about Halloween Horror Nights tips or spooky horror-inspired jewelry, you can follow me at Broken Jaw Jewelry on Instagram and TikTok, and listen to me yap about HHN on Twitter at Designs by Jess.
Yay!
Thanks
Nikki?
so much for having me.
Of course, yes.
If you want to hear more yapping sessions with me, I am at Haunt Girls Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And search for me or find your podcast at Haunt Girls.
Whoop.
If you want to see my husband and I act a fool at Halloween Horror Nights this year, make sure you follow us at Bree and Nick Yarbs, YARBS, on TikTok and Instagram. We'll also be there for Premium Scream Night opening weekend. So if you're not opposed to spoilers, we'll be trying to cover that as much as we can. And thanks for having us, or me, to speak today.
Yes. And Sam.
And you can follow me at Pizza Queen Sam on Instagram, TikTok. If you like any and everything Halloween, you want to know what to wear, or you just want to see me go shopping and spend all my money.
Honestly, I'd love to. But thank you again, guys, for taking the time out to record this with me. It really means a lot. I know I was telling you a lot before we started actually recording that I was a little nervous. I could kind of get caught up sometimes when I'm hosting the episode myself, but I think it went really, really well. You guys are all such great people. I love watching everything you guys do individually and supporting you guys all in that way. And I can't wait to see everyone in the fog. And hopefully we could do something like this again, because this was really fun. But this time in person, next time in person, when we're at HHN, which would be nice.
Yeah.
Yes. But we are, like I said, 2 ways out till HHN. We're still in the middle of our HHN Podathon. Wednesday, as I'm speaking, Family Feud, 2 nights at Topgolf Orlando, YouTubers versus podcasters. Like I said, doors at 5:30, and the event will start at 7. Supports a great cause for the Special Olympics that you could donate to if you'd like, but it is a free event to get into. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the fog, and happy haunts!
Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on. You can find us on all of our socials at Fear and Beer Pod.